In this video, we're going to work on example 11.14 from your book. If you'd like to follow along, open the Better Chapter 11 Classwork.xlsx workbook from My Courses and click on the Worksheet tab, Form Controls. In this video, we're going to learn how to use form controls to change numbers. We're going to add a scroll bar and we're going to add a spin button. So what we need in order to do this is the Developer tab. So you see here, I don't see the Developer tab as one of my tabs. So in order to bring up the Developer tab, I need to click on File and then Options down at the bottom. I'm going to click on the left Customize ribbon, and the only tab that you should see that is not checked on the right hand side is the Developer tab. So all you need to do is check that Developer tab and click OK. By the way, you should see my video on macros in order to better use the Developer tab. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click that Developer tab. What we're going to first do is use the spin button to be able to easily change our down payment in increments of $500. So I'm going to click on cell B3 and I'm going to click Insert, and I'm going to find the one that says Spin Button. That is on the top row. It's the fourth one in, Spin Button Form Control. So I'm going to click it, and it doesn't look like it's done anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it out. So just draw it out, and don't worry about the size and placement, because as long as the handles are around it, you can always change the size by dragging at one of the circles, or if you have a four-headed arrow, you can always change the position. That can be done at any time. But right now our spin button doesn't do anything, so you need to do either one of two things. You can either click the Properties button over here in the Controls group, as long as the spin button is active, and we get to the Format control, or as long as the handles are around our spin button, you can right click and choose Format control, and then basically we get to the same place. So for the down payment, we're going to allow a minimum value of 0. We can allow a maximum value of 20,000, and our incremental change, as we said, is going to be $500. And we're going to click inside the cell link box, and we're going to click cell B3, our down payment. Now we click OK. Now it doesn't look like our spin button has done anything because we can't use it, but if we click away and the handles go away, now you can see here that we can use the spin button to change our down payment in increments of $500. And notice how the amount financed and the monthly payment and the total interest paid all change automatically. Now, if you would like to edit your spin button, we can't change the cell link, we can't resize it, we can't move it. In order to get it activated, the edit activated, we need to hover over our spin button and right click. Now that's going to activate a menu, so just hit escape, and now with the handles around it, I can resize it, but of course it doesn't work when I click it, but when I click away, the spin button will work when I click it. Now let's do the same thing for the number of years with a scroll bar. So I'm going to go back to my Developer tab. In the Controls group, I'm going to click Insert, and this time I'm going to choose a scroll bar, which is on the second row, the third one in. Make sure it says scroll bar. So I click it, and it's the same thing, I just draw it out. So don't worry about the size and the placement. We can always change that later. So again, we either need to click the Properties button in the Controls group, as long as this is the active object. If this is not the active object, it's not going to work. We need to see the handles around it. Or we can hover over, right click, and choose Format Control. So for our number of years, we're going to allow a minimum value, this time of 2, and a maximum value of 8. Our incremental change is going to be 1, and our cell link is going to be cell B5. Now all we do is click OK, and now we can use the scroll bar, except that my handles are around it, so I need to click away in order to make it activated. And now I can use my scroll bar to change the number of years. And again, if I would like to edit the scroll bar, all I have to do is hover over it, right click, and then hit escape to activate the edit mode. And now I can move it, resize it, or do whatever I want with it. Okay, make sure to watch my video on assigning macros to forms.